Welcome to the Shoreline, brought to you by Shores and Islands, Ohio, where finding your Lake Erie love is a sure thing. Thank you for joining us. I am your host, Jill Bauer, PR Manager for Shores and Islands, Ohio. We bring you the Shoreline every week to give you the inside scoop on what's happening here in our island and coastal communities. August episodes of the Shoreline are brought to you by our neighbors at Downtown Fremont, Inc. Think Downtown Fremont. Shop, live, play. Supporting the community with local businesses and events in downtown and at the Fremont Community Amphitheater. Shop and support local in downtown Fremont. DowntownFremontOhio.org. Well, Labor Day weekend is within our sights as August winds down, but we all know that summer doesn't end just because the calendar says Labor Day's here and school is starting. We've got at least 2 more months of mostly fantastic weather. Of course, there's always exceptions, but for the most part, it's still going to be lovely. And while some locations may cut back in hours, most of our, quote, seasonal attractions, y'all couldn't see me do the air quotes with my fingers there, but the seasonal type attractions, they're going to be remaining open for at least a couple of months here. We've got tons and tons of events throughout the next couple of months as well, starting with the Milan Melon Festival coming up this weekend, one of my favorite local traditions. Then coming up, we've got Put-in-Bay's Historic Weekend, Cruising at the Bay Car Show, Halo Weekends at Cedar Points is going to start in the middle of the month, and Sandusky is hosting the only USA contest for the Strongman Champions League on September 20th. Find out about these events and other fun things you can do in the region this time of year, of course, at shoresandislands.com. Joining us on the program today is Jim West Jr. Jim is a lifelong resident of Huron, Ohio, and is a seasoned entrepreneur with a diverse background spanning the restaurant, insurance, financial services, real estate, and firearms industries. His leadership across these ventures reflects a consistent commitment to customer service, operational excellence, and community engagement. Jim wears many professional hats. He's the president of Jim's Pizza Box, owner and agent at West Insurance and Financial Services, and co-founder and CEO at Lake Erie Arms. Now, although I'm personally a huge fan of Jim's Pizza Box, with locations in Huron, Milan, and Vermilion, today we're not here to talk about pizza, sadly. Today, we're going to learn a little bit more about Lake Erie Arms and a big event that they have coming up in a few weeks. In 2015, Jim co-founded Lake Erie Arms, beginning with a small retail shop and a firearms training center. Drawing from his restaurant background, Jim envisioned a firearms facility that prioritized hospitality, atmosphere, and a sense of community. That vision culminated in the 2024 opening of a 94,000 square foot premier indoor shooting complex near Milan, Ohio. The state-of-the-art facility combines high-end shooting ranges with amenities inspired by hospitality and wellness industries, including spa-style locker rooms, saunas and steam rooms, private lounges, an indoor clay shooting experience, a full-service restaurant, and community gathering spaces. As CEO, Jim leads a team of over 80 staff members and has positioned Lake Erie Arms as a regional destination for enthusiasts, professionals, and families alike. Can't wait to learn more about Lake Erie Arms. Welcome to the Shoreline, Jim.
Thanks for having me.
So happy to have you. Can you just start by giving us a little overview of what Lake Erie Arms is and what sets it apart from other facilities like it in the Midwest?
Oh, wow. You're teeing me up to be right on top of my soapbox. I appreciate it. So what we are, we're, like you said, a 94,000 square foot modern shooting sports complex. Kind of the genesis of how Lake Erie Arms as it sits today came to be is we're a more inviting atmosphere. We're more family friendly, not so much of just kind of one demographic of people. In addition, under the roof that we have here, we don't have just the typical pistol disciplines. We have rifle, an indoor clay house, and a big social aspect to it as well, right? Not just we're more than just going to the range and firing off a couple rounds and doing a little bit of limited training and going home. There's some gamification to what we do. It's a family thing. It can be, what you do on a weekend. So that draws us from not just the normal 25, 30 mile radius. It draws a considerable crowd from destinations further than 150 miles away.
I'm sure you've heard the term Country Club, but I almost think that's a really good explanation. It's a country club. There are so many things going on there in addition to the shooting ranges, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's half of it. We do have top of the line shooting facility, right? If you're talking strictly about shooting. However, there's a community aspect to it. So I can, country club, I go full circle on this, right? I understand and I say it the same way that you do in the fact that there is a sense of community, and whether you're a yacht club member or a country club member or your local Eagles clubs or anything else, there's always the social calendar evolved around the primary. So yes, what country clubs are to golf and what boating is to a yacht club, we are to shooting sports. However, there's one fundamental difference. While we are a membership-driven facility, we are absolutely open to the public. So that country club thing kind of gets people hung up on the fact that there is a level of exclusivity. There's some privilege that is kind of cornered off for members who are local. We do survive on our local, so we want to carve that out, being in the area that we're at. But 95% of the facility is open to the public.
So really anybody can come in and utilize the shooting ranges and eat at the cafe, and the building is available for things like event space rentals and such, taking classes, all those kinds of things are open to the public.
Absolutely. Even included into the leagues and so on and so forth, right? They're just going to be a different price point to come off the street. But yeah, Everything except for the high-end, let's say high-end, the steakhouse restaurant, do have a liquor license and a bar and some other private lounges over there. Unless you're a member or a member's guest, we kind of have to we only have so much space for that. But that's really the only carve out for membership.
What are the other benefits of becoming a member then?
So there's a handful of different levels of being a member. I want to be cognizant of who our surrounding area is. And, there's a lot of people that say, hey, Jim, what you guys are doing over there is great, but I don't need to go to dinner. I don't need steam rooms. I don't need any of that stuff. What I need to do is come in and shoot. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. We created a brass membership right now before we, leading up to this event. We got some good pricing, but then we're going to probably change that a little bit. We created a basic range pass. $40 a month. You come in, you bring your own gun, bring your own ammunition. You never pull out your wallet. You shoot for free as much as you want. So we do make it affordable. And then if we are full of we have the vacation land swell around here, which we love, but that gets them right into their own way to do this. They can go right through. They don't have to wait in line. And that's great. But if you want to start taking classes or joining leagues and you're going to buy a lot of retail and you want to eat dinner and have guests over, then you jump up to another level there that allows for that to happen. So that gives you the whole social side of it. And then you can go up a little bit further. And then we have one that's basically everything you want. Basically, if you're taking classes or leagues, it doesn't cost you anything. We have a vault room where we have 200 vaults on property. You get a vault to be able to keep your firearm there. So, it all depends on what you want. I didn't want to put everybody into one category there. I kind of wanted to, I don't want anybody paying for benefits that they don't find value in.
Yeah, that's really nice that there are different tiers available there. And the vaults that you mentioned, that's similar to a locker room, right? A lot of places, a gym or something, you might have your own locker. So here, it's nice to not have to bring your stuff back and forth with you every time you're going to visit. So let's talk about the basics with the shooting ranges. You have a couple of different indoor ranges. Can you talk about what the differences are between each of them?
Yeah, absolutely. So the basic range we have 8 stalls in one bay, what we call our static range. It's 25 yards. It has an interactive target that's set down electronically. That's where you just come in. You can shoot static, standard range style. You don't move. You're in your one spot. And then you just send the retriever down as far or short as you want, which is great. The bay next to that is what we call our tactical bay. We have 8 shooting stalls in that bay as well, but it's a little bit different. It's more interactive. We use it a lot for our advanced training and law enforcement. While you can shoot in there in a static, non-moving position, we can also take down those benches and you can move forward and charge the firing line. And it's basically a big steel box, so it's you can take a shot anywhere in there, which allows for some diversification of training for our law enforcement partners, as well as some more dynamic class work with individual instruction. So that encapsulates our 25 yards. Then if you go down to the other end of the building, we have 4 100-yard lane ranges, which are very, very popular, specifically because we can handle, for the firearms people out there, we can handle all the way up to a 50 BMG round, which is as big as it gets, basically. So people can buy optics here, and they can dial themselves in indoor, again, in a really nice fashion, so they don't have to walk all the way down 100 yards and back and wait for ceasefires. So that's pretty unique for 100-yard to be inside. And again, we have 4 of those. Wow. But then the thing that really sets us apart that nobody has is that indoor clay house.
Yes, that's relatively new, right? I think that opened later last year or earlier this year, and it's probably the only indoor clay shooting range I've ever heard of.
Basically, so it is. We opened September of 23. We didn't launch that until November of 24, and the reason for that is that's our design. It's our idea. It hasn't been done before. We have a patent pending on 32 unique properties of it. We wrote the program. We had to do all of that because the whole system runs on a countdown system and a series of triggers. Because unlike traditional trap and skeet, where you either manually throw or you have a triggering device ran by a human, this is all a program that runs everything off of a screen. So getting that up and running was a bit of a challenge, but we have dialed it in, and the leagues, we have high school teams that now shoot in there for as a sport. We have leagues for a lot of our members, and it's just, and we've even gamified it a little bit because you can turn off the lights and then it's glow clays, just like glow bowling. And all you see is these clays going, and that's gotten really popular for date nights on, Fridays and Saturday nights. So it's really unique. We're actually getting a lot of national attention right now because of it. We're in partners to get it launched in the portfolio of a massive range company. And that's all been coming together over the last 6 months. They've kind of watched it from afar, and they've secret shopped us, and they've recognized that it does deliver, which is great. And now they want a portfolio. So as far as anybody in the area that's into that sort of thing, we live in Northern Ohio, which is incredible right now. Like, it's incredible.
But in January?
Bingo. And when the rest of the North Coast kind of shuts down, the nice thing about us in this area and why we like we love our shoreline partners here, because when our facility is a little slower, when the weather's nice, they'll send people here, and we can take kind of some slack off, and then our season comes around September to April. I mean, it's 70 degrees and sunny inside Lake Erie Arms 362 days a year.
Right. There's not a lot of opportunity for clay shooting in the winter months here. So I'm sure that there are some fans of being able to continue that as a year-round activity. I mean, it's an athletic activity as well. So that's great. And you mentioned earlier about when you were talking about your membership tiers that there were some levels, where you just bring your own firearms. What if you don't own a firearm? Do you have the ability to rent or borrow those to still use your facilities?
Absolutely. So in a couple of different ways. If you're just somebody walking off the street and you're traveling here to somewhere else and you want to come in to shoot, well, suffice to say, if you're driving 10 hours, you're probably not bringing your whole arsenal with you, right? So we have about 50 firearms that can be rented just right off the street. If you come in, pay for your lane, and you can rent a firearm, our range safety officers will help you. If you've never shot before, we'll give you a little bit of free instruction to make sure you're safe. We'll stay on top of you, and we can give you a basic firearm to use. Or if you're coming in, we've got a whole lot of really, really fun, really expensive stuff too that you're not going to find everywhere. So if that's what you're looking for. But if you are a member, depending on your membership level, everybody has so many free rentals built into their membership too, to let them try. If always want to try before you buy, right? I mean,
that's a great idea.
And that's what a lot of our events are: try before you buys. But then also just for a little bit of fun to insulate your membership, because it's if you can shoot 50 guns, maybe you don't have to have 50 of them. Who knows?
So another benefit of your facility is that there is on-site dining. You have a couple of different dining options. You've got the cafe and you have the Caliber Club. Can you talk a little bit about the difference between each, and what can you expect to dine on in between your shooting sessions?
Sure. So the cafe is open to everybody. Right now we're in our summer hours, but typically we do breakfast, lunch, and dinner there. And good bagel sandwiches, bagels in the morning. We have our own coffee company, so we have our own espresso machine. We do all the fancy coffees and everything there. But it's basically high-end deli. that you can count on there. A bunch of different sandwiches. You can find our menu online. But that's all open to the public. In addition to that, we have our Caliber Club, which is open for lunch and dinner and brunch on Sundays. And that's open to our members and their guests. And it's a steakhouse type menu. I mean, there's flatbreads and burgers and stuff on the menu, but we do have some we push into the wild game pretty good. So we have, on our standard menu, things like bison ribeyes. We have stag chops on right now. We had lamb over the weekend, but we've done everything from kangaroo to yak to emu. I mean, we've done it all.
Where else locally can you try that kind of cuisine? I don't know where.
If you know, let me know, because I like it. Yeah, and it's nice because when our members like it, and our members really like bringing people to dinner, and that being and that being something, so they get a kick out of it.
So you also on site have obviously a retail establishment. What kind of products do you carry there, and is that open to the public as well?
Yes, 100% of our retail is open to the public, and that really hasn't changed too much from our old store. We carry a pretty wide variety of items, but customization is kind of our thing. So while we do have some good shotguns in-house because of, we do have a clay house, so that kind of lends to that. We have some localer companies like B King that we stock a lot of their parts, and you can kind of customize and build your own rifle together. We have on-site gunsmithing, Cerakoting, customization. So if you want to do something or build something, that's something that we do really well. But then again, there's nothing that, if we don't have it there's nothing we can't order. We really are a one-stop shop. Down the veins of firearms. I mean, customization and cutting edge stuff is kind of where we're lend towards.
It's very cool. And you host a lot of trainings and things there that are available to the public as well. So I guess I would assume, do you offer like concealed carry classes or self-defense, those kinds of things?
Yeah, so we offer it in a different variety of ways. We still, of course, do the classic concealed carry, and we do that in a mixed class or a female-only class. We're partnered with the USCCA and the NSSF, so we offer first shot programs, which I believe we're about ready to roll out in the very near future. I think we're going to offer 4 varieties of first shots, whether it be handgun, rifle, pistol, shotgun, and there's going to be no cost for the class. We're working with them to partner for anybody that wants to come in and get a first round of education in first shots. We're gonna try to absorb that to get people in the door. Yeah, I mean, here's our big deal. I mean, we are this big, fun facility and whatnot, but our goal here, and it's written right into our masthead, is inclusion, right? I think that forging a new path in the firearms industry through safety and education is like our deal. I mean, that's the first thing out of the gate. Everything's through looking through a different lens, education, youth, safety. If we want the handling of firearms in this industry to survive, it has to be done the right way at a higher level, and that's what we're striving to do here.
That's awesome. And you guys have a lot of social things that happen there as well, a lot of events. And in a couple of weeks, you have a big event coming up, and referring to the Lake Erie Arms Freedom Fest. What's the idea behind that event, and when is it happening?
So that's going to be September 11th through the 14th.
Oh, now I get why it's Freedom Fest, September 11th.
There you go, 11th through the 14th. And it is an event that's open to the public. And this is if you haven't tried us out, this is where you should, because we open house this thing for a handful of days. And now I'm going to rattle off a ton of things that we're doing. This is an evolving event. Everything that I say will happen, but I know they're not done stacking things on, right?
So more surprises to come.
Yes, with my staff, never a dull moment or a new idea not being floated. The nice thing is the idea is for people to come here and, this is basically kind of a party on us, right? So we have things for the kids like bounce houses and inflatable ranges, and we partner with the ODNR and they bring out their like kids archery set and sometimes their BB gun deal. We're going to have a car show. We're going to have Touch a Truck. We've got live music. We're going to have free trainings. We're giving away an ATV and 20 different firearms. Axe throwing. We've got a portable tattoo parlor that comes out.
Oh my
We've got cornhole tournaments, and it's a full pig roast, and the Caliber Club will be open to everybody for those days. I mean, it's an all hands on deck from our end, and it takes a month or so to plan these things. But when we do, it is just a great time. So we'll be cooking hot dogs and brats and in the pig roast, and it's all free. We'll have different firearms companies here, and they'll be having all of their firearms on the range. All the ammunition, all the shooting is free. You know, you can come in, we're giving away, like I think, for every $100 you spend, and this could change, you get a ticket to go into the raffle for the free guns. I mean, it's a big giveaway. It's a big party. On September 9th, we turn 2, so it's kind of a 2-year birthday party for us.
Yeah, happy birthday.
I appreciate it, but we didn't want to take away from what it really is, right? So it's Freedom Fest. So, and that's kind of what we're going to do. I'm looking through my notes here to make sure I didn't forget anything.
Well, there's a lot of activities there that are, geared towards bringing out the whole family. I love that there are kids things and maybe you've got some folks in your family who are non-shooters. So there are things for them to do as well to enjoy your facility.
Well, I mean, that's part of it. I mean, I have 2 daughters. One's 4 and 11, right? And they like to be here, but they're not doing the same thing I'm doing, right? So there is a bit of a divide and conquer. Although I shot my 11-year-old was in the shotgun bay with me yesterday because she wanted to go and keep score. But it is different. There's and this is just a fraction of the things. I mean, there's face painting booths and a snow cone person. I mean, it's nonstop, right? Every day we'll have something different. And my daughters run a little lemonade stand where they give away lemonade and they give away donuts. I mean, it's fun. It's a total buy-in from our staff. The excitement and the giving 120% is happening when it comes to this. I mean, when we think we've got it all put down and then they hit me with 5 more ideas, that's a little crushing sometimes, but in the best of ways.
I will add to the conversation, the several times I've been out to your facility, your staff is top notch. Like they are the friendliest folks, the most knowledgeable folks. Like I really do think that you have a top notch staff out there, and I'm sure that you're, pretty proud to have them with you.
That is probably, and I say this a lot, and I mean it. It's absolutely what I'm most proud of because it's doing something like this and keeping the excitement and making people enjoy themselves inside a facility. If all the air and enthusiasm sucked out of us, it's not gonna grow once they're inside the facility. I appreciate you saying that because that is one of the things that makes me the happiest.
So September 11th through the 14th, do you have an idea of what the hours of the events are going to be?
Yeah, those are going to be all dayers. So I mean, I'm saying. It depends on what faction. The front doors will be open probably 9 A to 10 P. I would say 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then
it's a loaded schedule, Jim.
I mean, the retail will probably shut down around 8 or 9. Ranges will shut down around 8 or 9. But the restaurant will stay open probably 10 to 11 o'clock.
And Caliber Club's open to the public during that event, right?
It is.
It's a good time to check it out and get some interesting game-related foods.
Yeah, actually, we'll be doing a lot of tastings as far as foods and whatnot, but I'm just looking at my notes here. So there's a distillery called Minglewood down in Worcester, Ohio, not too far. They're coming up with all their bourbon. So anybody that comes in and checks in and, we lock you out of the facility. If you're going to have alcohol, we lock you out of the facility as far as utilizing anything else. But they're bringing all their bourbon up and sample, and the local mobile cigar guy outside and out on our patio, and the world is everybody's oyster that weekend, I suppose. It's going to be a good time.
Wow. And you also mentioned some contests and some like raffle things that are going to be going on?
Yes. So there are, the raffle is at least 1 ATV and 15 plus firearms.
Wow.
If you go to our website, you'll be able to see the contest and the rules and all the eligibility. We'll have that all laid out. But just by walking through the door, and getting a ticket from the front desk, you can enter into the bulk of the raffles. You get one for walking through the door, and then there's a handful of ways you can earn additional tickets by doing different things in the facility, which is going to encourage everybody to kind of not just stick their toe in, but we want you to walk all the way through and explore the space.
That sounds like it's going to be a really cool event. And I know that I'm going to bring some family out because I'm thinking of some people that haven't been out yet that need to experience it. And you've got a lot going on. So you mentioned you can go to your website to find out, the schedule for the event and all of the eligibility. And I'm sure all of the information on Lake Erie Arms. So what is that website, Jim?
So that's going to be www.learms.net.
learms.net. Anything else that you wanted to share with our listeners today about Lake Erie Arms or about Freedom Fest?
Just in addition to all the fun things we're doing, we're going to have some pretty incredible sales going on as well for all of that. There's a couple that haven't been finalized that are pretty aggressive, and the only reason they haven't been finalized is they're pretty aggressive internally, and we want to make sure that it's a win for everybody. So keep an eye out for the sales. It's gonna be in a lot of our advertising that's out right now. But come on in, and there's going to be some flash sales that'll be pretty interesting. So if you're thinking about buying a membership or you're thinking about buying a firearm, this is the weekend to do it, because it will not be cheaper than it will be this on these days, the 11th to the 14th.
Great idea for Christmas gifts as well.
Absolutely. Gift card. I mean, there's a huge promotion on gift cards as well.
And memberships. I mean, membership makes a good Christmas gift also.
You know what? We chart I think there were 160 or so that were given last year as gifts. I think only all but like 10 of them renewed on their own money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was a good stat that we liked last year. So we're going to push those as well.
Absolutely. So the website one more time, Jim?
www.learms.net.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it.
Yes, thanks for having me. I appreciate it very much.
Good. Special thanks to Jim West Jr. from Lake Erie Arms for joining us on the Shoreline. And a reminder that all of August episodes are brought to you by Downtown Fremont, Inc. So special thanks to them for their continued support. As always, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, please be sure to like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss a minute of the action here in Shores and Islands, Ohio. You can also find more information, including past episodes of the podcast, online at shoresandislands.com. We'll see you next time on The Shoreline.